Let's get started here. So let me go ahead and share my screen for you guys. And share here. All right, so let's go right in here. So I'll start off here by recapping on USD CAD, just because this is the one pair that has been very volatile. Was one of the pairs that I was very interested in. But as you can see on my outlook, I had been looking to sell this pair as it had been uptrending. Let's see if I could break it down. It had been uptrending. It had broken this previous trend line that it was on. As you can see, it went ahead and broke. And this is exactly what I was waiting for. I did that webinar on the 25th. And you can see right after, as I had predicted, it did have a good push to the downside. And this is the 4 hours, so it did have some relatively good movement. And I was watching that level in specific because of this trend line it had broke, but also these tops that it had made at this significant level as we had seen on the weekly before. So you can see as it had been going up, every time that it tried to break this previous high, it got stopped out specifically right at these levels here, ultimately squeezing with that trend line. And, of course, it did go ahead and break through. So this pair I actually did make, I did go ahead and catch quite a few pips on. And like I was mentioning before, you have to be careful with the markets because the market, of course, is going to do whatever it wants, and of course, whenever it wants. So you can see that right after, coming to this level here, it started to have a push to the upside and quite a strong push. If you guys keep up with the news, well, before I say that, there's not very much key support resistance here at this level. So what actually happened here is that you guys keep up on the news calendar, the financial calendar. There was, I believe it was yesterday, there was a news release for the consumer. Um, here it was the consumer confidence report, and that consumer confidence report actually had showed it had came out higher than what was forecasted. So that went ahead and spiked some buyer interest and overall strength in the U.S. dollar. So that there, I noticed after that had happened, it went ahead and started pushing to the upside, and I was able to ride this pair out pretty low. And of course, I have been looking for re-entry after I dropped, but I'm just gonna kind of go over when I knew to pull out of the market, because you can, if you remember from the call I had done over the week, I spoke a little bit about buying and selling power and who has the money in the market, and you can follow that money in the market by seeing what kind of momentum that either side has. Is the momentum on the seller side or is the momentum on the buyer side? And ultimately, who has more money? And you can see, of course, the receipts in the market. Each candlestick is a receipt for the transactions that have been placed within that time frame, or whatever candlestick chart that you're looking at. So, of course, when I had gave that outlook, we were on the 25th. So this still necessarily had not happened just yet. These moves right here, but you can see how after squeezing on this level, it eventually went ahead and broke through. And once it did break through, it did go ahead and start to gain some selling momentum. As you can see, it finally went ahead and dropped from that level there. And so from here, I went ahead and just followed it. I know that the sellers had now overtaken the market. It went ahead and lined up with my support and resistance levels that I was watching, especially the strong level right up here, which we identified on the weekly. And I just went ahead and watched it. I saw it dropping. And relatively, this is the 15-minute chart, so this is more on like a and on a smaller scale. It kind of gets a little bit more pinpoint on the little moves that are happening. So of course, each candlestick is 15 minutes, and you can see relatively nothing here scared me with the buyers. The sellers ultimately are still pushing down. They're still creating lower lows up until here. Each as I was following it down here, every time that the buyers came into the market, they failed to close 100% retracement on the sellers. So, right here, I saw that the buyers did come in with some power, but they weren't able to close 100% of that movement there. And then, of course, the sellers went ahead and continued to the downside, and they kept pushing, kept pushing, kept pushing. And, every time the buyers came in, they weren't able to close that 100% up until here. You can see these sellers bring it down, and then you can see those buyers right back up and closed 100% of that previous selling move. So you can see that the buyers right there, that's just one sign of the buyers starting to come back in. I believe this was right after the report was released, and eventually it went ahead and turned over, and it has continued to the upside since. Overall, I am so right in here, I was still watching it, and of course I saw that sellers started to slow down just a bit, and they were kind of battling it out there with the buyers, and ultimately they came right back up to this level. So once they came right back up here, I decided to close out the trade because I was now seeing that the buyers were starting to come in. So me personally, once I see that happening, especially after I catch a big move, I don't want to lose that profit that I made. So I want to go ahead and close out of that trade and wait for reentry. Like I said, after that report had come out, there was a gain of strength in the U.S. dollar. Ultimately, I don't think that that is going to hold. I know there's a few things that have been coming out in the news, and of course, Trump's always tweeting how strong our economy is. But ultimately, there's a lot more signs pointing towards we're we're really not we are still headed into a recession. They're saying that we're not because of the consumer confidence and these other reports that are coming out, but also at the same time, there's a lot of indecision with the US dollar, because of the trade war, because of these other economic events that are happening. So overall, I am still bearish on this pair, but because of that report coming out and because of what I've seen here with the buyer interest that came in, I am on standby. But I I am still looking to get into an entry if and when we come right back up to these levels right in here where structure had previously formed right up here, right at this level as well. I want to look for a sign that they are going to be holding under this level or at least right in this zone right here. I know I have these trend or this support resistance level right in here, but it's not necessarily just a line in the market. I like to say more of a zone. So you can see that zone is kind of from this support resistance level here up to right in about here. Up to like right in about here. It's kind of a zone right in there where there have been reversals at that point. And it has been a significant point in the level, or sorry, significant level in the market where it has failed to break through, whether it's on the, on above it, below it there. So that's kind of my analysis there with USD CAD. I am still following it. I'm going to go ahead and wait to see what it shows me if those buyers do slow down, but overall I am still bearish on that pair. Um, Moving over, USD Swiss franc. This was another pair. Um, it Same thing with this pair. With the consumer report coming out, it did go ahead and show some interest with the buyers here. But overall, as it is under this guy right here, I am overall bearish with the pair. I'm still confident that this is gonna go ahead and turn over. So I am currently in a sell on this pair. Um, and as you can see, from that push, or I'll bring it back to the 1 hour, from these pushes to the upside, we are starting to see the buyers slow down. So they had a good push, a healthy push here. Sellers went ahead and reacted to this resistance level here and here, but ultimately went ahead and broke above, and they actually did hold above that level there. But as you can see, the sellers are starting to gain some momentum. So I would keep a close eye on this pair. I was watching it yesterday when it was right in this area here. So once I saw that those sellers come back in, start to show some interest, I went ahead and decided to hold on to my trade, even though I am currently negative in it. But of course, you can look for re-entry anytime that the market brings it up, because as you can see, the sellers are starting to show their presence here, and they have been able to break below this level here where they previously broke and held above. Um, but yes, so one trade that actually went pretty nicely was this USD Jappy. So what I had explained here was, let me see if I can back this up a little bit. But what I was able to see here on USD Jappy, as I had explained on the weekly outlook, it's at a key moment. Like I said, it hasn't been able to break this level that it's currently at, or that it went ahead and pushed off of since about March 18th was the last time it had tested that level there, earlier this year. Or I'm sorry, March of 2018. I'm sorry. So it's been over a year since it had went ahead and tested that level. And as we break it down time frame by time frame, I remember we were right in here when I was going over it. And with that report coming out, it has showed still some pushes to the upside. So here, it has gone up through these levels, went ahead and retested here. It's still showing some good buying strength ultimately. And let me see here. I would go ahead and keep an eye on this pair. It looks like it is retesting these levels here on the 15-minute chart. This previous structure that it had not been able to break on a small level, of course. It was kind of in this range right in here on the 15-minute. It was kind of in this range, ultimately broke above, reached new highs, of course, went ahead and held above the previous high that it had created, and it is going ahead and holding nicely here at this level and is showing some reaction. So same with this, I would keep an eye on it, see if we are able to overcome these levels right in here and overall show more buyer strength rather than seller strength. So as long as it is above this guy right here on a small frame, or on a kind of a smaller scale, I would say you're good for a buy. Same thing with this guy here, as where this is the breach level and this is the level where the buyers had pushed up. This is the buyer that had initiated that breach there as well. So still bullish on this pair. And I also like how the fundamental side goes with the technical side. So I would keep an eye on that pair as well. Same thing with GBP USD. This was a great pair. We caught some pips here on this pair as well. Let me see here on the. I'll break it down from the 4 hour, or I'll break it down on just kind of a recap of what I had saw earlier in the week. So earlier in the week, I had seen that this pair is at all-time lows. It never in the history, it goes back to 1995, I believe. Never in the history of this pair has it gone lower than these levels. So, of course, this is a significant level in the market, which is very exciting, as I had kind of displayed to you guys at the beginning of the week. And as we can see, there is a sign of a reversal starting to happen right in here. And we can see how there was a strong push to break those levels. This is on the daily time frame. Let's see. See here. So when we had previously looked at it, let's see, we're at the 25th. So let me see. We were about right in here. We were right in here. We were coming down right in this level right over here. And it was on the way down, and we were looking for entry, of course. So we went to the 15-minute chart. See here if I can back it up just a little bit more. Here we go. Alrighty, so we were right in this area right over here. It had come down, it had retested these levels, and then we started to see, of course, some buying momentum. So since then, it has gone down. Same thing with this pair. We wanted to watch it. We caught it to the upside. Once we got a good entry, we wanted to go ahead and watch the momentum gauge. So of course, we see it entering here. We see this strong let me see if I get a little closer in there. We see this strong push to the downside from the sellers to kind of show, hey, we're still here. We weren't showing you guys anything right over here, but we did come in. They did go ahead and cover over 100% of that previous move right in there, but still have not been able to close this guy up until this guy brought it down. But as you can see, after this push to the upside here, we started to see the sellers come in. The buyers came in, closed 100% retracement. The sellers started to slow down. So it started to look good, started to show maybe we're going to make another higher high, but ultimately it wasn't able to. And the buyers started to slow down right in here, and the sellers started to gain some more momentum right in here. So I believe I closed out. I believe it was right in here actually, because I gave it one more shot because they came back up. But after seeing this move and they covered over 100%, I decided to close out. And of course, news came out and shot this guy right back down. So right now we're kind of in this, with the dollar having some good strength right now. It kind of threw the markets off a little bit. Which is why it's always good to keep an eye on that economic calendar. Which, if you don't know it, I can go ahead and post it in the group. And I know Michael has access to that as well. But you can go online and find it, of course. But that overall, that's kind of the four pairs that I had went over previously. Is there any questions? Any questions there for those that are on? Any questions there from anybody?
Shiloh, what's good, my man?
What's going on, bro? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Awesome for you to join the call, man. Derek, I see you came back. Miss Breyer.
Hi.
Definitely. Wanna. This is kind of like a mastermind, of kind of how we can really pretty much grow as traders. We get these wedge alerts on a day-to-day basis, and I feel like if we know a general direction in which the market's gonna go, when the alert comes out, we will be more confident that, hey, it's gonna turn around or it's gonna go in our favor. And so like what I like how Miky does is he really like, I don't know, he finds key points in the market where there's just either resistance or support. And so what we've been kind of trying to test out is, along with Henry and the 777 Fibonacci, is these key levels. And when we get these alerts in these key levels, how the market actually reacts, and then essentially getting in at a perfect entry with the wedge alerts. And so not all wedge alerts are going to be accurate, but I think as long as we're practicing kind of like how to draw the wedge alerts over time, for me at least, I find myself really, it's pretty simple for me. Like it's easier over time. But just kind of just practicing, for me at least. But yeah, any questions, you guys? Any thoughts? We're trying to provide as much value to those that are looking for it. And then obviously Henry's gonna, Henry spits his knowledge as well. I don't know why he couldn't hop on today, but I'm pretty sure we'll continue on as we continue to grow the group and the business as well.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's actually really good, being able to be in the group. So, when we were getting the wedge alerts before and we watched the training video, it was just, I suppose, quite basic. But now, when you're in the group and you actually get to see the way that other people are drawing things, and because everyone perceives things differently. So, everyone's looking through things with different eyes, and just, seeing what other people are seeing helps you sort of broaden your view as well. So I don't know, I'm loving this. I'm learning heaps. So thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome.
Well, thanks.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on, and of course you always have me as a contact. My name was Miky Tapia, by the way, so you can definitely connect with me on Facebook as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of helping out in any way I can, and just sharing the knowledge. Of course. So if I could, I'll just give a little bit of backstory on me. So I've kind of been hiding in the trenches for quite a while. I first came across Forex about 4 years ago, and I had a mentor, and we did very well. And I've never been a social media person. So if you go look on my social media, you really won't see any post, maybe about once a year. And up until I met Michael, he kind of he kind of just motivated me to kind of start sharing this knowledge. So I'm very excited. I was very nervous on that call I did earlier this week, as that was the first time not only recording myself, but potentially having an audience. But I got some great feedback from it. It seemed like you guys had enjoyed it. So, I mean, I'm happy to be able to share the knowledge I've obtained over the last 4 years, and hopefully it can help you guys out, of course.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you. You're an absolute natural too. So don't know why you've been so shy forever.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
sharing the knowledge that you have is going to help so many other people. So it's a massive gift that you're giving us all. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's much appreciated, brother. Like just got through, or I met the other Michael through Facebook, so we've been chatting back and forth. And as of course he knows, like I'm really new greenhorn to this, so I'm still learning terminology and all that stuff. But it's good to know And like he said, I like the mindset. You know, people that have like minds that are trying to achieve a specific goal. So yeah, I'm definitely on board. And like I said, I appreciate the gold nuggets that you're throwing out there, man.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I don't know if you know Robert Kawasaki, um, but if you've been trying to kind of go through your entrepreneurial journeys recently, he's a great person to take a look into. But there's this book specifically, and it's called The Business of the 21st Century. It's a great book, but one of the key things that I took from it is that by us being in this group, we're surrounding ourselves with, like you said, like-minded people that have the same goals. And if we stick around these people, we're not only going to learn new things, but we're going to be motivated to keep doing something every day, and something new. And sometimes we don't want to do these things, but because we might feel, we've already made plans to do these things, and we have somebody there that's telling us, hey, we had planned to do this. Let's hop on this call, or let's mastermind, or let's start to plan something out. If you're planning on going home, you're going to be like, man, if you want to stick to your word, you're going to go and do it. And what I've realized is sometimes I get out of work, because I still work full time, and I get out of work and I'm like, man, like, I'm tired. It was a long day. I'd rather just go home, make something to eat, relax, and then get to bed to start for the next day. But because I have these people in my life that are pushing me, they're pushing to get to the goals that they have, it makes me want to push as well. Because one, I don't want to get left behind. I don't want to go back on my word. And I have somebody to keep me accountable as well. And of course, somebody that is motivated. So sometimes I'm not motivated, and I get on a call with Michael, and this guy fires me up, man. I don't know if you guys had a chance to.
Much appreciated, brother. Much appreciated.
Yeah, but if you
He's
ever
just
get a chance, you need some motivation, call Michael, send him a message, because I'm telling you, what we have right now, not only with the community and the knowledge that we're bringing to the group that we have, but the technology that we have behind us. I can tell you, in my 4 years of trading, I have never seen anything like it. I'm so excited, and this has brought me out from hiding.
Yay.
How powerful I believe that this is. So I'm super excited. And with the knowledge that we have, if we can grow our Forex knowledge, we can even use this technology to its full potential. And I don't know what its full potential is, but just from the potential that I've seen, it's blown my mind. So I'm excited for you guys. I don't know if you've already become a part of Market Hackers just yet. If you guys have been taking advantage of those wedge alerts, but we're onto something big. We're definitely onto something big. So cheers to you guys for hopping on the call, and I really appreciate your time, of course, and you guys being present.
Hell yeah, man. I just wanted to say something really quickly. I mean, just the fact that we're able to leverage each other too. Because I know I wasn't as interested in gold as Miss Breyer has been, but just seeing just that she's always consistent, or at least trying to learn more about like the price action with gold. Like I
Yeah.
literally had more success with gold this week than I have in any other weeks. Just by checking in on the chat, and she's very very active, and so those that end up being more active in the chat will eventually get the most out of it. So anytime you guys can draw up a wedge, or provide any kind of value, maybe even drop, hey, like the news is about to come out, like any kind of candlesticks that you guys pinpoint, anything that can add any kind of value to the chat. Just know that a lot of the good traders were watching, and I'm not by no means like the best trader, but I know what happens when you get to that level, and it's really truly, I mean, you're gonna see more time freedom than anything, because not only do you have a business that you can build with the company, but you can leverage your knowledge to then reach the, you know, more people, essentially, you know, more people, more credibility. People are going to trust you more. It's not just yourself at the end of the day. You know, you can introduce this to anybody and get them plugged in, and you know, just like anything, you know, you start something, the seed's going to grow. It's going to grow. And to not, you know, to just kind of touch up on that a little bit too. If you guys ever feel like, you know, you're not progressing, the seed platform that we all purchase, and that we all, you know, put money into as well, that offers great value as well. You know, it's designed to transform your lives, not only like financially, but more on like like spiritually, mentally. You know, there's just so many different things that tie into, you know, just listening to something like that. It's going to bring value to your life as well. And so yeah, I mean, I want to keep this consistent. You know, anything with consistency and with drive and motivation, you know, is definitely going to go a long way. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, any concerns, I mean, Chulo, I know you've reached out to me a couple of times. Let's mastermind. You know, I'm always open to masterminding, and you know, just finding that dedicated time to work with people. You know, at the end of the day, you don't have to be in their team or specifically to their teams. Just know that everyone's helping each other out, and like just kind of keep that what's the word I'm looking for? Keep that culture going, for sure. For sure.
Definitely.
But yeah, Mikey, thank you for doing that analysis. When are we looking to do our next webinar?
Let's
For
let's aim for Sunday. That way we can kind of get a clear look. Probably same time, right around 7.
Okay.
So, but like I said, I'm happy to hop on a call with anybody during the week. I am free during the week, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or let's just say 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So I have some time to get off work and you know, hop on some calls. But yeah, you guys shoot me a message. If there's ever any pairs that you want me to take a look at for you, definitely shoot me a message, or you know, we can schedule to hop on a call, or if you guys want to learn a little bit more and ask more questions, and you know, maybe you don't feel comfortable in a group session doing it, you know, shoot me a message for a one-on-one. And yeah, definitely let's leverage each other as you guys grow. You know, you can always use me to you know, I I wouldn't consider myself an expert in the Forex market, but I definitely am a seasoned trader. So I have a little bit of insight that might be able to help out, you know, when explaining it to the newest trader. So yeah, of course, you guys can always hit me up in the chat, or you can follow me on Facebook, Michael Tapia. I'm on Instagram as well at impact_Tapia. So yeah, shoot me a follow, shoot me a friend request, and let's connect.
Cool. Will
Sounds
do.
good to me.
Thank you so much, guys, and look forward to Sunday. Woo!
Yeah,
Sounds
yeah.
good.
And feel
Yeah.
free to send the link out to anybody that you guys are talking to or anything like that. Let's grow this community of we already have a good community in a chat. Let's grow a bigger, I should say, mastermind community, so we can all bounce these ideas off each other, and of course ultimately have more eyes on the chart, of course, as well.
Definitely. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah, I'll be sending you a friend request pretty after we get out of this call, Mr. Tapia.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Good.
I'll look forward to connecting with you guys.
All right, man. I appreciate you, man.
All right. Appreciate you guys. You guys have a great rest of your Wednesday. And yeah, we'll be connecting here soon.
Sounds good.
All right. Peace
All right.
out.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.